So I moved to a new place and I'm trying to set up a lot of my Super Sentai stuff. So I figured now would be a perfect time to actually talk about it. While I get things set up, here's some of my Super Sentai gimmicks. Uh, Mostly Super Sentai gimmicks. But then as we go down, we can see I actually am collecting a little more than I thought. And since I do talk about Super Sentai backwards, we should probably start with Gavan Infinity. So now you might be wondering, Marcosatsu, how'd you get Super Sentai toys like this? And like that? And like a lot of the stuff that's here, actually, even though this isn't even all of it, a lot of it does come in partnership with JP Fans. JP Fans is a proxy service where you can buy affordable items from different markets such as Mercari and Yahoo Japan. As you'll see in this video, I was able to get a ton of Super Sentai toys for cheap, plus a lot more than I bought for myself. One of my favorite parts is where JP Fans sends picture updates from their warehouse when your package is ready. Though keep in mind, international shipping is expensive depending on where you are, and JP Fans offers help with those costs, including combining multiple items in one package, offering ECMS shipping, and of course, using my affiliate link to get a shipping coupon. Plus, if you need more help, their customer service has been very helpful with me. Buy Toku toys today with JP Fans. I know it's kind of funny to say that I'm talking about Super Sentai when this replaced Super Sentai, but I kind of like to talk about Gavan Infinity whenever I can, especially in a positive light. This is not a positive light. This is truly one of the most disastrously designed tokusatsu toys I've ever seen, and I've lived through the Lupinranger versus Pad Ranger changers. We'll get to those later. Okay, so it's not the worst thing ever. I probably say that too often, but it is still pretty down there. In fact, it's so down there, you might as well say it is one of the worst things ever. What the heck is this? It's supposed to be a gun? It's supposed to be a gun? I get what it's going for. I like the idea of the 2-in-1 transformation, we'll get to in a bit. This does not look good. That's it. It just does not look like a cool, good, awesome, well thought out transformation device. I like that it can become a mecha. I think it is a neat idea. The mecha itself, I don't think is that bad looking either. But the actual transformation toy, I don't know. That's all I'm going to say about this until I can talk about it more in depth. But cool? Not cool. No. Get this out of here. Now onto actual Super Sentai. Of course, like I pointed out earlier, we gotta talk about the number one toy. This is what the Gavarian Trigger tried to be and utterly failed, in my opinion. Okay, so I like the design, but as a toy, it does have some very, very glaring flaws, as you can tell by my little hair sticking out for a while. It has glaring flaws like that. Otherwise, this is Tega Sword from Kyoryuger. He's beautiful. I could look at him all day. So I said Tega Sword on its own is quite the beautiful toy, but once you try to transform him, the flaws start to come out a little bit more. Yes, in the show, it's supposed to fit your whole hand like this, but since it's made for little Japanese children, for adults, it more fits like 3 fingers, and that's it. Admittedly, I do like this overall design. I like Tega Sword as a mecha. I like Tega Sword as the Kyoryuger changer as a changer. I think this looks pretty beautiful, actually. Pretty beautiful. It's supposed to look like your hand, like this, and I think that's a very, very well thought out design in every piece. But speaking of pieces, one of the flaws to me in the toy itself is that this arm falls off way too easily. Like I mentioned before, the headpiece could also come off, but I don't like having loose pieces with toys. And for two, this other piece bothers the heck out of me. There's supposed to be these 2 little notches here that you're supposed to connect so that way they don't separate. But I kind of struggle doing that. I don't know if it's like a skill issue, but my other friends say the same thing who have the toy, that it is kind of a pain to get these to like close properly. But once you get it right, it does look pretty cool to me. And of course, the best part, the part that, of course, the best part, the rings. You too can be your favorite Kamen Rider or Super Sentai hero once you put in your ring. You too can be number one once you have your favorite ring of your favorite hero and put it in the Tega sword. I should probably. I found another flaw. When you buy Tega sword brand new, it actually comes with a couple rings. It comes with a Goju wolf and a Sentai Senshi warrior guy. This one's King-Ohger. Just like in the show, it's supposed to move like this, and then you put it in the sword, just like this, kind of like that. But see, this is where the other flaw comes in, because there are two different sizes, the small size and the adult size. The adult size is also kind of too big for me. Like, you probably can't see it properly, but it is a tiny bit loose, which is fine, I guess. But then the smaller size, well, number one. You can take these off, which is how you can get the adult size, and then mix and match them, and it does come with an extra one. But in the proper way that you're supposed to do this, it's supposed to be in the small size, and then you put it in like this. That's how you're supposed to do it. But like I mentioned, if you have the bigger one, it just won't fit in there without a lot of finagling. And this is how you're supposed to do it. This is how you're meant to play with your Tega sword. But I know that was a lot of negatives. This is truly one of my favorite Super Sentai changers at this point. I admit I wasn't expecting to get the Tega sword like anytime soon. Like, I liked it, I just didn't like it enough to actually get it physically. But now that I have it physically, oh my gosh, I just love doing this. I just love transforming him every time, even though he's not like Tegasword and this is the Gojuger Wolf, the Goju Wolf one. I just love doing this. I don't love doing this part, like I said, as one of my many flaws for Tegasword. But man, that's a mech right there. That is a Super Sentai mech, and I love this. I gotta admit, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Super Sentai changers, but I saw how cheap they were through JP fans, specifically their Mercari site. And I was hoping to complete my Kamen Rider collection actually. But then again, like I said, this was very cheap. So Tegasword, of course, I bought because it was cheap, and I'm glad I did. Like I said, it is easily becoming one of my favorite changers. This Tegasword was only $10. It was loose. It didn't have the box, and it did actually still come with the extra rings. But I still got Tega Sword for $10. So as we go backwards, I will talk about like what toys I bought through my latest So as we go backwards through the Super Sentai changers, I'm also going to talk about the toys that I got alongside my JP fans box. And the next one is King-Ohger. Tega Sword I thought was cool, but I didn't really want for the most part. This I think is incredible. I've always wanted one of these too. I would not buy a Toku weapon unless it specifically was the changer, which is kind of why I got a few of those here. But King-Ohger just did it for me. This looks really cool. It's a pretty good size actually, even though I'm like an adult man. It's still a pretty good size. I really like this. That looked like I was scratching my back. I wasn't, but like, yeah, this is incredible. The Kamen Rider saber swords are the easiest thing to compare to. These are like butter knives to me. They're fairly small. Even the ones that are just the solo sword by itself as a changer, it's pitiful. But this, oh my gosh, look that towers over the saber sword. When saber is supposed to be the sword Kamen Rider, but this, I wish Saber did this in their toy sizes. But oh man. Of course, you got the parts here that a lot of people also compare to as being a Bop It toy. And this was also $10. Again, it was loose, and there's a memorial version coming out if it didn't already come out at the time of this video. So that also explains why Super Sentai toys can be cheap if you find them secondhand, in or out of box, is because they usually do have memorial editions that are a lot bigger, have more sounds, and all that. But I'm fine with the DX version of this. Like, this still looks really cool. This is gonna look great as a display piece back there. Like, oh man, I just love this so much. I'm not super into the Bop It like playness of this, but it's neat that's included as part of the design. It's a good size. When it comes to like gun weapons, I love that I can spin them around, but this one Not unless I like reach out my hand very far. What am I doing? When I was looking through my collection to see what I wanted to complete specifically with Super Sentai changers, I mainly wanted the main changers. Of course, there are like the sixth weapon. Sometimes there are extra changers. Sometimes there are like auxiliary rangers or extra rangers or kaijin that can transform. But for this one, I specifically wanted the main changers. Like with Kamen Rider, where I want the main belt. With Super Sentai, I did also want the main ones. I did look out for a couple of extras though, like Jeremy's weapon changer thing. This is quite the treat because it did take me a little bit to actually find this in box in a good price. I think this was like $12, I want to say, somewhere around there, especially in box. And I think it's new. It even has a little sticker to stop the battery from like turning on for the toy. Oh wow, that is also a really good size. I can fit my whole hand in there. Like I don't see that too often in DX toys. Oh my goodness! Even if this wasn't like 100% brand new, like it feels new, it looks new. Everything was like still in their bags. Like oh my goodness! I mainly wanted this not because of the changer itself, but because Jeremy is one of my favorite Six Rangers now, especially after rewatching King-Ohger. God, it's such a good show. I figured I'd get this just because of the character, but now that I actually have it in hand, it's a lot better than I thought. I think the main thing that surprises me is the size. Like I did not expect it to be this long, this thick, this big. Like you can even put other things in there. It opens up. Oh my gosh, this is an incredible thing. I think it's like immediately going up there as one of my favorite changers now. I also like the sounds. So cool. I can't believe I went out of order. So the Boonboomger changer is pretty cool too. Unfortunately, I don't have too much to say about this one. I kind of like that it's separate. The clicking is fun. You can roll it because of the rolling thing here. You can put car like accessories in here from Boonboomger. I don't have much to say, but I do like it. I just want to put that out there. I like the Boonboomger changer a lot, but it is pretty simple. And this is pretty much all I wanted from Boonboomger. I know like the two other rangers have their own versions of the changer, and there's like the power up for red, and there's also the game changer Game Boy thing. But I'm cool with this to represent Boonboomger. I'm fine. Neat. The Donblaster. So there is also another memorial version of this, which is why it was cheap. This one's also a bit scuffed. Like it was secondhand from JP fans. This was about like $16, I want to say, but that was also because it was bundled with a lot more. It came with a lot of extra stuff, especially the gears. Like even though this is packed, there's still way more in this box over there. I really like Don Brothers, guys. Like I'm pretty sure I've said it before. I really really like Don Brothers. Playability, there's not too much to it other than well the Sentai or the Avatar gears here, and these are cool too. I do like the designs of these. I like that the face of the Sentai person representative is right there, and the DX versions are like shiny, and I like shiny. And there's also little special versions. This one's like a very shiny, like see-through kind, and there's still way more over there, but I don't want to collect them all. This was a nice little extra. If I'm not already into weapons, I'm definitely not into like the the collector thing of it. Like Kamen Rider has these too, where you can like put your gimmicks in things and put it like on the side of the belt. This goes on the front of the belt. It's supposed to be kind of like the buckle, and then they open it up, and then they pull out the gear and stuff like that. It it's fine, I guess. I like that I can put the gears in them. I can put them back there, and that's as far as I will ever think about them. I will be looking for the Sixth Ranger changer because I like that too. I especially like the character, even though he became kind of nothing. But I do still like Don Brothers, and I want to collect more Don Brothers stuff. I think that'd be neat. The memorial version is way bigger than this, as you'll probably see. But this is fine as a DX toy. It is actually a pretty good size. But if you compare it to like the on-screen television version, you can tell those are way bigger. But this is still a good size, like especially for a Japanese child. But for me as an adult, I can spin it, and that's cool enough with me. The Gear Tlinger from Zenkaiger. I don't like the name. It just doesn't sound right. Gear Tlinger. Gia Turinga. I've if you say it like how it's spelled out, it just Gear Tlinger does not sound good to me. Just like with Don Brothers, these also use a gear gimmick, but these are these are more specifically gear like, while the Don Brothers ones are more flat and all that. I like them both the same, I guess. I kind of don't like that they were the same, more or less, like back to back. I'll talk more about that when I ever talk about Omega Horn in like 5 years. But still, these are cool looking. I like that they have like the Sentai symbol they represent in the back, although some of them do look a bit jank. Why is this one so tiny? But I also like that they have the Sentai representative with their number here. I should probably show that a lot better. See, that looks pretty nice. I also like that this part is see-through, so you can like see it spin when you. What an odd angle. I'm actually not into the design of this one. It also got bundled with this thing. These are the exact same mold. They just have a V and a peach. I hope they weren't more than $5 MSRP. You can put your gears in there. The Kirame Changer. This is also a really, really simple one. It's a circle. You can spin it. It has 4 buttons. They each have their own sound. That's quite literally it. Like, that's not even a knock against Kiramager. I love its simplicity and all that. And that's just it. I lied. There is one thing I want to say about this. I've been holding this in forever. I hope you can see it. This thing is a magnet for scratches. The simplicity is also what I can say about the Sixth Ranger changer. I think it's called a Sparkling. I don't know, man, but it's neat. It has a little more playability at least, because I think doing this is fun. But I do like them, and I think this one I like a little bit more because of that. There's also like a Yodona version where it's like purple, and I think that's neat. That's it. Kyoryuger, still my favorite Super Sentai ever. Okay, I'm actually gonna compliment Ryusoulger. I do like the changer a lot. I think I've said it before. I do visually love Ryusoulger that way. That goes along with the changer. I think this looks really cool. I love that you can do this. Gosh, I wish I had more complimentary things to say when I actually like something, but it is easier to say what you don't like about something than what you actually do like, because, again, I could say I like the look of it, I like the playability, I do like the sounds too. Like, I know I'm not playing the sounds, but I do like the sounds. I like the gimmick. I have more of the gimmicks up there if you could even see those, and yeah, they're neat. Whenever I get a toy of a show I don't like, it feels really ironic. And then I add that I don't like the changer, and I feel like that validates me a little bit more. The VS changer from the Stinky Cop and Robber show. I don't know. There are versions of the vehicle changers that are like way smaller that you plug into here, but then like these can be like $20 each, like on their own, for like the main rangers at least. I think like if they're not a ranger, then they're cheaper, but still this can be a lot. I got this changer specifically for I think $15, which is probably like 15 more than I wanted to spend, but hey, I have it. I have uh I have a loop hat thing now. I bought my wife a few like loop hat merch, including like a vinyl figure. But I guess if I wanted to complete the collection, I got this. I don't want to get the Lupin X or Patron X, the Noel changer, because it's a really ugly changer. But I also want it because it's a really ugly changer, if you know what I mean. I want it because it's bad, kind of like the Gavarian trigger. I wanted it not only because I actually like Gavan Infinity, but I wanted it because it looks so bad. Um, this I got it just to complete the collection. Otherwise, I would never have bought this. And I got it the green one because the yellow one was like $40. Speaking of a loop hat thing, I also got this from JP Fans. Yeah, I know it might be a little weird. I got keychains of the loop hat of the Lupinrangers. It's not all of them. It's I think they're missing the reds, but still, I got these for my friends. My wife wanted them too. She wanted more loop hat merch, and well, I'll be green. I've had the Tokyo Changer in my collection for a long, long time. In fact, this is one of my oldest changers. I think this is the first one I actually bought by myself with my own money when I first got into Tokusatsu, and I've had this ever since. Not only because Tokyuger is like my second favorite Super Sentai, it used to be my number one, but also it's also kind of nostalgic. Like I said, I've had this for years, and like since Tokyuger was airing, and I still have it. It's still pretty good. It still works. It's still fun to do this. I think it's really neat that it looks like the train lights, and yeah, it's cool. Once again, this is another simple one. This is the Zyuohger changer. Uh, it's a phone. I don't like when changers are phones. I think having a phone as a changer is like too easy. I can see the creativity in some of them, like this one being like the cubes and stuff. I think it's a neat idea, but actually like having it, I kind of don't like it that much. I got this for $3. Okay, so this isn't a bad change per se. I think it's more like just not my thing. It's I will say it's a pretty cool changer. It looks good. It has good playability to it. The designs are I actually don't like the designs all around here, but the bottom flips into the phone. The top is the one you spin. If you look closely, whenever you change it, it changes the symbol. That's the Shuo changer. This was also $2. That's why I got it. So I do like this a little bit more. Like this is too simple, I will say. It's just a cube. You can spin it. What more is there really there to it? This one, a little ironic. All you do is spin it, but at least it has like a little bit more to it. There's like lights here, like a flashlight. There's a button here. I like the sounds of it. I like Jewel the World as a character. Just like Tega Sword, in the show, of course, it's supposed to fit like your whole hand. It actually supposed to stretch out a little more, but as the toy, well, that's all that it can fit. As you can probably guess, I don't like when the toys are this small. Like I've shown before, there are handles that can fit an adult. There are handles that can do this, but they still don't do that. I mean, I get it. This isn't meant for an adult. I don't think there is a memorial edition of this, and if there is, I'm pretty sure it's going to be longer. In fact, there are mods you can buy that increase like the size of this, which I wish I bought one, but still. I got this specifically because I have the chameleon green jacket. You've probably seen it before on my Instagram or stuff like that, and I do wear it on occasion for like cons and stuff. So having this just completes the cosplay, the chameleon green cosplay, I guess. And it's fine. There's another like fine one to me. It's a neat idea in concept. It's kind of like a controller when you're in the Megazord. Sorry, there's just another one I don't have too much to add about. Um, it's voiced by a race. So the ninja actually has a sword as a weapon too, just like King-Ohger, and yeah. So it has a sword as its changer, but in Power Rangers Ninja Steel, they changed that to one of the weapons where it's like the claw that you spin the star around. I actually had that at one point, but then it just disappeared. Well, either way, I never cared for Ninja Steel. I'm sorry to say, especially to some of my friends who are super into Ninja Steel. Ha, Super Ninja Steel. Another thing is that with the Ninja, I also did not care about it, except for Sixth Ranger. Star Ninja is one of my favorite characters ever. He is incredible. His changer is a burger. So I got this in a previous JP fans video where I unboxed that, saying that I had this. I've always wanted this. I've always wanted the darn burger morpher, and I have it. I have been playing with this nonstop. I love that it spins properly, unlike the Power Rangers version. In fact, there isn't one in the Power Rangers version. I'm talking about their other foam stars for their morpher, but this one, oh, it's just so much fun. I love that there's a burger. It is one of my favorite morphers, I should say. I hope no one gets upset that I'm saying morpher instead of changer, because morpher is like colloquially known for the changers, but still, the burger morpher. It's so out there. I love it. It is one of my favorite morphers of all time. What a surprise! Marcosatsu is changing his opinion again. I'm warming up on Kyoryuger. I'll admit it. I'll just rip the band-aid off. I'm kind of liking Kyoryuger a little bit more, especially after watching Ryusoulger. Probably shouldn't have said that. Even though I wasn't super into Kyoryuger at first, I did always like their changer. This Gabble Revolver, I've always wanted one of these, especially when it was airing too. Like, even though I wasn't into the show, like I said, I still wanted a Gabble Revolver. Oh my gosh, I love this thing. I think I got this at a Paramorphicon actually for like 25 or $30. It was loose. It was just like in a bin, and they were like, "Yeah, I think like $20, it's yours." And even better is that it came with batteries in there already. So there's also a memorial version of this, which is like 1,000 times better. For one, the paint is actually yellow and not this orangish color. This isn't because of like the sun or anything. This is actually just how it looks. This is how the DX toy came out. It's like this orange color, but the memorial version is yellow, and and it looks really good. I think the size is like a little bit bigger, or it might be the same thing. Either way, the paint is way better. The other main thing for the memorial version is that the DX version has this little button here. So normally, how you see in the show, they just they pull down the tail to open up the top of the gun. But the DX toy, you have to hold down the button to do that. The Memorial version fixes that. It does not have this little lever thing. You can just pull down the tail and it opens, which I think is completely worth buying one of those. Oh man. But I still like the DX toy, as you can tell. Like I love this thing so much. I've always loved this. Don't let anyone fool you. I've always loved the toy of Kyoryuger. I also like the mechas. But still, even though I have this, and even though I'm usually okay with the DX toy, I kind of want a memorial one. I kind of want the Dynaforce Brave version. I kind of want more of the Gaba revolvers. Like, oh man, if I had disposable income like more back then, I would have had a whole collection of these. I love these. I would buy more of these. And like I said 1,000 times, I'm not into weapons. I would buy 100 of these. These are just so cool. No wonder Kyoryuger did so well. Like the toys are just. I'm also not going to have a chance to talk about this too often, so I might as well bring it up. The Power Rangers version had two special editions. Of course, they had like the normal, like yellow versions of it, but they also had like a special edition, which is this green one. I don't think I've ever seen anyone really talk about this or even like mention it or post a picture of it, which kind of surprises me. So, of course, this is way smaller than even the DX toy, which is kind of ironic if I think about it. But it is okay. So it's small. Um, it doesn't have the finger guard, which is like I think one of the main takeaways for me personally. It has the orange tips because of America toy regulations. One thing it has over the Kyoryuger Gabble Revolver is that this doesn't have a button to like pull to open up the gun. You just do that. It doesn't hold two batteries, it only holds one. Why do they make this? Okay, I know this one should not count because it's only Power Rangers, but this is so close to the original that I might as well talk about it. When I saw comparisons between the Beast Morphers version of this toy and the Go Busters one, I actually couldn't tell at first glance. Like I actually had to like really look at the differences. But one of them is that the Beast Morphers version is a little thicker. It has like these black plastic pieces connecting everything. But aside from that, another major change is that the sunglasses part flips out a lot faster. So the Go Busters version is supposed to open up like slowly. It opens up the sunglasses, but this one is instant pretty much. So you might be wondering, how do you even add a gimmick to this? It's supposed to be a plain morpher, right? Like there's no way you can add something on top. No, but you can add it to the side. You can add beast keys to the side. I think this is one of the most interesting things that Power Rangers has done, and it's done a lot of interesting things compared to Super Sentai. But this is curious. I don't know if I like it. I feel like I do. I just think it's super interesting that Power Rangers try to have its own gimmick line. There were other keys you can buy with like separate figures and all that that unlock more sounds, of course. And this one just came with like the main ones you'd want anyway. But the other ones, of course, like I said, it's a gimmick. You buy them, you get new toys. So far from Go Kaiju all the way to Go Juicer and even Gavan Infinity, I've had one thing to represent them. At the very least, the main morpher, or I had the Six Ranger morpher, like I do with the with Ninja, since Ninja is the only thing I care about for Ninja. So when it comes to Go Kaiju, one of my favorite Sentai, one of the Sentai I love the most that I would love to talk about soon, I don't have anything. So here's a Go Kaiju key. This is one of the first release ones where it doesn't have a button. You actually have to like manually flick it up. Where in the show they just go like this and it like flips up automatically. But then they released a version that had a really wide button that you would click and it would go up to be more show accurate. Kind of. It did have a button that stuck out badly. Ranger keys, yeah, they're popular for a reason. I mean, they look good. They represent the Ranger. They have great sounds in the toys. Looks good either way. But of course, it went beyond Go Kaiju itself. They also had Go Busters. They had Kyoryuger that had their own special sound, like canisters. They have Boonboomger ones. They have Gojuger ones. They had keys for like boss monsters. Like for Kyoryuger, they had like the whole Deboss keys. These were popular for a reason. Everyone loves these. I love these, of course. Like it's super obvious. These are just so well done. I just oh gosh, I can't wait to find a lot of like the Six Ranger Morpher and the Mobiles because I want those so bad. But they are kind of expensive even with the memorial version. Just for a little bonus, since I already did mention Power Rangers, this is the Power Rangers version. Even without comparing it side by side, you can see how tiny it is. Okay, so Super Sentai, Power Rangers. Gosh, you would think the American version would be like way bigger, but no, this thing is tiny. The one thing the American toy had over the Gokaiger DX ones, at least at the very start, was that the American toys are automatic. You just let go, and there they go. So that was neat. I actually do think that was a really good idea of Bandai of America to like have that with it. Um, I wish I had more. So I didn't want to leave this Gokaiger section out to dry with just a couple of keys. So I actually did buy something else that would represent Gokaiger in this video, the DS game. I found this on JP Fans for $5. I completely forgot they even had a DS game. I just searched in Gokaiger in like the Mercari section. This popped up, and I was like, well, if I'm not going to get a $50 mobile, might as well get the $5 DS game. I also can't believe the manual is still in there in color. Oh my gosh. Of course, I eventually do want to talk about like more tokusatsu games, and that includes this one. So I'm really glad I have it. I'm gonna put it in my tokusatsu section over there with my games. Unfortunately, this is where I am starting to run out of my Super Sentai collection, but I do have a few more things. So I'll probably like just go through them fast. This is the Goseiger one. I'm not really a fan of Goseiger. I've been warming up to it a little bit more after all these years being like my number one like worst Sentai. But I did kind of like the Morpher. I had the Power Rangers one, which ironically I liked a little more. But this one, it's fine. These I know I talked about quite a bit in the past. These are the Go-Onger bracelets or the Power Rangers RPM Morpher. The Go-Onger one is way better than the Power Rangers one. I probably don't even have to go in depth to tell you or even show you. You can see it for yourself. So one of the main things This opens up. This doesn't. I should say it opens up manually like that. Another thing that would stick out to me, Goanger RPM. There are some like wish list things I want. I did mention like the Gokaiger Mobiles and the Six Ranger Morpher. Some older ones I did want, like the Die Ranger ones. I love when there's like two separate like bracelets for toys, which isn't done very often. But Die Ranger did it, and I love that one. Magna Defender actually did that too, but they got like one of the Die Ranger ones. Car Ranger's a really fun one with like the key that you turn like that. The Bokenger one was announced as a memorial version coming out, which makes me think that the DX toy is going to go down in price. So I'll probably look for that next. I think I'd also like the Turbo Ranger one, the one that goes like this. I really like the pose for it, which is mainly why I want it. And of course, I also want the tube from Jacka. So this is the last of my Super Sentai collection. It's from Power Rangers Samurai. Just kidding, it's Shinkenger. The Shinkenger version is way better. I do want to buy the Power Rangers Samurai version just so I can compare it because there's a huge difference between them. For one, this one doesn't suck. So one of the fun things about this is that it's not only a phone, which actually takes a lot for me to enjoy it because I said earlier like there are some exceptions with phone designs. This is one of them. It's not just a phone. It's also a brush. This is such an interesting, smartly designed changer. I kind of hate Power Ranger Samurai a little bit more because it didn't do this. They're samurai. They should have done this, but nope. The Power Rangers version only goes up to like the open phone, and they do like that. Again, because Samurai is one of my favorites. I love Samurai, and I love this thing. I also want the sushi phone. I think that'd be an interesting buy if I can find it. And that's everything in the collection so far. I did buy a whole lot thanks to JP fans, and they were able to get all this out pretty quickly. I was surprised a lot of this was even in like one ginormous box. Like this was also able to fit with like the other swords and Tega sword and the King-Ohger one and a whole lot of stuff. Like even if there are some changes I didn't like, I do like some elements to them. I do like that I even have them at all. So thank you to JP fans for reaching out to me and helping me almost complete my collection. I'm sure I'll go through them again to get even more. But for now, I gotta organize these. This is a mess.